Hey there guys, it is a beautiful day. I hope you're getting outside, getting a lot of fresh air that we all most certainly need. As you can tell from the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about these so-called anti-hate groups in Canada who are planning to carry out violence. They're planning on physically assaulting myself and others should I dare to cover another rally that these protesters are planning on having this Sunday. So in this video, I'm going to break down for you where all this hatred is coming from this so-called anti-hate group. And a lot of this came to my attention because of this Facebook post here on UBC's Students Against Bigotry, where it says, police keep escorting neo-Nazis, yellow vests, and other pro-infection, anti-distancing activists through the streets of Vancouver. They are potential super spreaders, not just of the virus, but also of dangerous misinformation. And now they're planning to use their children to do it. Meanwhile, those of us who would typically turn out to oppose them are trying to keep ourselves and loved ones safe by staying home, as health experts continue to recommend. And then if you go into the comment section here, you'll see they posted a picture of myself with this individual in the background holding up a hand sign, and you see they have the big red circle around it. We're going to expose these guys as white supremacists. That's what they believe. And as you can see in the comments, Cameron Hagee says, super soaker time. Betty Frocker chimes in, says, got anything better? To which he says, you don't know what they're filled with. And Noah chimes in asking, cat piss? You guys, they are threatening to spray us with cat piss because we are going against a recommendation by the government, a suggestion by health officials. These statists love the monopoly on violence so much that they want to support the government so much that they're willing to risk arrest, an assault charge by doing this. We've seen this before. You may recall around 4 years ago, myself and Lauren Southern found ourselves in the middle of a scrum by these people when Lauren Southern was attacked with a bottle of piss, all for saying there are only two genders.
I assume that you're a cisgender straight woman because you obviously I
actually
haven't ever been raped either.
I actually identify
so
as an attack helicopter, so it's really offensive.
You sound like you're speaking from a very privileged point of view here.
Very privileged.
Yes.
Sorry guys, there's only two genders, female and male. This is extremely controversial to say. Science and facts, extremely controversial. Jesus.
Oh my God. And now they're threatening to do the same thing to myself and to these other protesters should we dare to march in the streets on Vancouver. Now this is all coming from that one photo, as I said. And you know, I have debunked this before. The truth of the matter is they are being duped. They are falling for a 4chan trolling campaign that was set up a long time ago in February of 2017. They're taking the bait. I explained it all in a video once before, so I'll show you a few clips from that video now so you can understand where this is all actually stemming from. Let's break it down here for you. You may recognize this hand gesture as being the internationally recognized OK symbol, meaning all is good, all is well, everything is A-OK. Well, that's essentially what it used to mean up until a few years ago when a literal troll campaign was launched by the website 4chan. Users on 4chan decided to troll those on the left by making it look like this was something else. Here's the post from, you can see it was posted back in February of 2017, years ago, where they say, we must flood Twitter and other social media websites with spam claiming that the OK hand sign is a symbol of white supremacy. Make fake accounts with basic white girl names, typing out stuff like, oh my God, that's so true. So here you can see they try to make it look like the symbol actually stands for WP instead of AOK. And yeah, this is clearly just a huge trolling campaign by these 4chan users, and these guys have completely taken the bait. I remember the circle game. I mean, we used to do that when I was a kid. If you're not familiar with it, you would make the OK hand sign somewhere below your waist was one of the rules, I recall. And if you got one of your friends to look at that, then you get to punch them in the arm. Yeah, it's a stupid childhood game, but it is a real thing. Kids do play this. Coast Guard suspends a member for making alleged white power hand sign during a Florence broadcast. The U.S. Coast Guard has removed one of its members from duty during Hurricane Florence after he allegedly made a white power hand sign in the background of a television broadcast. And here is the photo in question. This is just ridiculous. You got, where is it? This guy right here making a hand sign. You got the guy beside him is too. These guys way over on the other side, two of them are also doing it. They're trying to suggest that these guys are on television trying to show their white power to signal other white supremacists out there to just say, hey, look, we just want to show you we're with you. This is ludicrous and insane. You know, older men still play games. I mean, these guys, and they're not even that old, you know. This guy in the corner here looks like he could be in his 20s. These guys still play video games. They still play stupid boyhood games where you get to punch each other in the arm. So just to make the stretch that the Coast Guard did, that this guy's a white supremacist, is just absolutely insane. Or what about this one? Chicago Cubs ban a fan who flashed white power symbol on air behind a black reporter, and they even have it blurred out. They got the OK symbol blurred out in this photo. It's so ridiculous. The symbol is taking on a new meaning, and there are multiple potential meanings. I mean, what about the fact that some people believe this represents the number of the beast, or the number 666, this being a 6 and this being, you know, 3 other 6s and a satanic symbol. Certainly there are Satanists out there who have adopted that to be their symbol of the, you know, to symbolize the mark of the beast. And even I have been accused of this multiple times, guys, because honestly, it's a comfortable way to hold your hand sometimes. When you're trying to maybe eloquently explain something to somebody, your fingers, mine anyways, just fall into this position sometimes. Not long ago in a video just last week, somebody pointed out as I was talking, I did that. And you can see here in this comment, could do without the 666 hand sign, bro. Even if you aren't a shill, I presume you are aware of their presence of throwing up the infamous 666 hand signs. So I would suggest you stop doing that if you aren't, because it's hard enough to figure out who's who, and you can't trust people nowadays with all the disinformation at work, agents at work online. And that's a good point. That's what's happening. The waters are getting cloudy and muddy. So I responded. I said, it's not intentional. It's a comfortable and natural position for me to hold my hands when trying to explain something to someone. I actually try to remember to tuck in my fingers like that so that I still have the comfort of touching my pointer finger to my thumb, but it looks more like a circle just to avoid all these types of comments that I get. But sometimes I forget, and it happens naturally. And that's the bottom line. I mean, I've been accused of doing this. People in the White House have been accused of doing this. People in sports arenas have been accused of doing this. The Coast Guard have been accused of doing this. This all stems from a 4chan trolling campaign. But I guess the bottom line today, guys, is yes, it used to mean everything is A-okay. But now the reality is there are now, let me see, I would say 6 meanings to this, okay? Potentially. If you ever see somebody making this symbol, they are either saying everything is A-okay. They are either taking part in the troll campaign and saying, I'm not a white supremacist, but I'm just going to troll these guys on the left because it's funny. Or maybe 3, it's one of these people on the right who are a white supremacist who said, yeah, I know it started as a trolling campaign, but I'm going to still adopt this as a white power symbol because it works. Or you have that other category of Satanists who are symbolizing the number of the beast 666. Or I would suggest the last and final option, which I guess is 5, is the possibility that it's completely unintentional and there was no intent behind it whatsoever. So we have to remember that moving forward. And guys, let's not forget, internationally, this isn't internationally accepted as any of these things necessarily. In Brazil, Germany, and Russia, the signal, the hand sign is a supreme insult, and it's considered vulgar, indicating a very private body part. In France, the sign is portrayed to the person it's aimed at as being a flunky or like a 0, basically a nobody. When it's placed over the nose, it means that he or she is a drunk. In Japan, the sign is used in commercial transactions to indicate you want the cashier to give you change rather than any other kind of currency. In Spain, Eastern Europe, and in some parts of Latin America, the OK hand sign gesture is considered very, very rude. When the Vice President Nixon visited Brazil in the 50s, a crowd of onlookers became rampaging mob after Nixon flashed them what he thought was just a A-OK sign, but to them, Nixon was making an obscene gesture, and his goodwill trip suddenly became a badwill trip. So, guys, things can get out of hand when we misinterpret hand signs coming from people. So, yes, this can potentially symbolize all those things, but it also can potentially not. So let's not lose our minds and descend into crazy town like people here in Chicago and others. This seems to be honestly more about trying to show that they're progressive or something. It's like they're just virtue signaling here. I don't think they actually believe that 18 of these students are real white supremacists. Really, they're just trying to show that they're progressive by virtue signaling. It's sad, it's pathetic, and it needs to stop.
So thanks to this 4chan campaign, they think that we're all a bunch of white supremacists because one guy threw up that hand sign. And now the anti-hate group, antihate.ca, says on their site here, a timeline of far-right events during COVID-19. They are refusing to stay at home, instead taking to the streets with conspiracy theories. And I'll save you the nonsense they've concocted here. You can read it for yourself. I'll put a link in the description, but I'll scroll down to their timeline where they start talking about yours truly. It says here, in Vancouver on April 12th, Susan Stanfield Spooner holds an anti-lockdown demonstration in downtown Vancouver that's attended by about 20 people, including Dan Dix, a conspiracy theorist banned from YouTube. Well, you can see they're clearly not doing their due diligence. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I am a conspiracy factualist, and I clearly am not banned from YouTube, as you guys are currently watching this video right now on YouTube, unless the censors crack down on me as they have been. They link to this article here, which is from Vice.com, which does an absolutely terrible job at reporting. It says, great, the anti-vaxxer corona protesters are here. And if we scroll down to the part where it starts to try to tie me into this and you know, put all the blame on myself, it says the march here was attended and promoted by Dan Dix, a big player in the Canadian conspiracy scene. Dix sent out a tweet from the rally showing him in aviators, talking about how people are fighting back, that went viral. Vancouverites aren't drinking the Kool-Aid, Dix said in the video. They're getting out and they're getting together here to show the world that we're not okay with unlawful orders and quarantines and lockdowns. Dix had originally posted a longer video of the rally, but it was removed by YouTube, which is cracking down on conspiracy videos. Dix boasts a YouTube channel called Press for Truth with over 260,000 subscribers, in which he posts mishmash of videos ranging from his more conspiracy-centric videos about globalists, wireless technology, and Trudeau's evil plans, to more far-right videos, like an endorsement of alt-right figure Faith Goldy during her Toronto mayoral campaigns, and videos railing against the irregular migrants at Roxham Road. No, guys, when a reporter interviews a mayoral candidate,
during a mayoral campaign, during a race for the mayor of Toronto. It is indeed newsworthy and a journalist's job to interview and speak with some of the candidates. Just because I spoke with her does not mean I endorse her. Also, I do talk about illegal activity going on at Roxham Road. They have conveniently changed that word to irregular. Now, just to get back to this anti-hate article, it goes on, it continues with their timeline, and it gets down to this, the next time that everybody protest in Vancouver. It says here, the third anti-lockdown demonstration brought about 50 people who received very negative attention from people in their apartments and passerbyers. And they link to this Daily Hive article. So let's see what they're talking about in terms of the negative attention we got. Coronavirus conspiracy theorists return to Vancouver streets in protest videos. For the second time this month, coronavirus conspiracy theorists have taken to the streets of Vancouver in protest against the current COVID-19 health safety measures that have resulted in the shutdown of the economy. Goes on to say here, protected by a Vancouver police escort, a group of between 70 people and 100 people stopped traffic in downtown Vancouver on Sunday afternoon as they made their way along Beach Avenue and down Burrard Street before circling back to the West End via Robson Street. In the live video stream of the protest recorded by Dan Dix, a self-described investigative journalist and a documentary filmmaker. You gotta love how they put investigative journalists and documentary filmmaker in quotations. The last time I've checked, I have made 5 documentary films. I've even won awards for my films. I won an award at the Wisconsin Film Festival for my film United We Fall. My film Into the Fire was nominated for an award in the Korean Film Festival. The South Koreans flew me to Korea. I took part in their award ceremony because I was nominated. So, you know, and I do have 5 films under my belt. I am a documentary filmmaker, and it's funny how they try to put the same quotations around investigative journalists, you know, like as if that's some sort of, you know, made up thing that I'm doing here. No, when you actually ask real questions, that's what real investigative journalism is. Maybe that's why you're not used to seeing the real deal. Goes on to say here, passerbys and residents in balconies of the buildings along the marching route could be heard yelling, "Go home," while others heckled and cursed the group. Police were seen conducting a search of an individual. It's not clear whether he was a protester. Dix alleges that eggs were thrown at them during the march, and despite their pleas for reduced health safety precautions, some protesters could be seen wearing masks. And yeah, it's not alleged that they threw eggs at us. They did throw eggs at us. I streamed that live on YouTube. 18,000 people watched the video before YouTube removed it. And yeah, they indeed did do that. Well now, guys, they want to threaten to escalate the violence to physical assault, potentially with cat piss. And it's not a stretch of the imagination to think that they may do that. We've seen them do it before. All because they're so conditioned by the state that they're willing to risk being charged with assault. This is absolutely insane. But I want to tell you guys today, do not let them scare you out of standing up for the rights of Canadian citizens and for our fundamental civil liberties and freedoms. Do not let them scare you out of just being a sheeple who acquiesces to these recommendations and suggestions from the government. Don't let them scare you. These anti-hate people are incredibly filled with hate, as I've shown you in this video, and as we hopefully don't see on Sunday. But if you do want to go, it's Sunday, 1 o'clock at Science World in Vancouver. I'm not sure the address, you'll have to look it up. But be warned, we're getting into uncharted territory now where we're going to be meeting heavy resistance by brainwashed statists who think that they are doing the right thing here to flatten the curve by physically assaulting other people. Guys, it's getting really bad. But again, don't let it scare you. Most of these guys are all bark but no bite. I see it all the time on Twitter, guys. So yes, if you are going to go, I will see you there. Check the links in the description for all the sources to this video. I'll show you where they've been threatening to do this to me, but I'm not afraid, guys. I'm not going to let it stop me doing from what I'm continuing to do. If that's something you appreciate, please click the thumbs up button, share this video, spread the information far and wide. And we do need your financial support at this time, guys, because they're attacking my website right now. I haven't been able to post there for quite some time. I'm working on the back end on getting it fixed, but it is going to cost me a pretty penny. So if you want to help me keep pressfortruth.ca alive, please check the links on the screen or in the description below to where you can find my GoFundMe page, PFT demonetized. If I had $1 for every subscriber, we can make the MSM obsolete. Again, guys, that is the goal. We're just going to simply do a better job than they are. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, guys, today. There are far left Antifa type idiots who are threatening physical violence against pro-freedom protesters and those of us who are going to report on the rally. That's how bad it's getting, guys. Support this channel, support our efforts, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to subscribe to me on all the other decentralized platforms like BitChute and Minds and Float, PocketNet. There's a bunch of them. Check the links in the description to make sure you're following me on all these other ones as a hedge, because we know they're clamping down on the YouTube community here. They're probably going to delete this channel sometime soon, so please subscribe to me on those other channels before I completely disappear from YouTube. And that's all for today, guys. I want to thank you so much once again for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.